Well, hello, my friend. Welcome to the Artist Next Level podcast. Super happy to connect here with you. In this episode, we're going to talk about planning to make sales even in the economic downturn that we are in right now.
Resources, inspiring interviews, business practices, and practical advice to take your art career to the next level. Join Sergio Gomez in today's Artist Next Level and get ready to take control of your career.
My friends, super happy to connect. Stay until the end. I want to also tell you about the Small Words Art Sales Challenge that I do every year and give you a special offer for it and how you can be part of that to help you finish the year strong. Well, we are right now, as you all know, at least at the time of this video, in October. We're just entering the month of October. You know, there's a lot of news of what's happening in the world with the economic downturn right now. The outlook for the economy around the world, it doesn't look very, very strong. So, as artists, we need to plan ahead. We need to be also aware of what's happening in the world and figure out how we're going to prepare ourselves and what are the things that we can do today, right now, to make it better. And better yet, as we dive into the end of the year, to make 2022 still count. Make the year still count, for you and for your art career. And of course, for your art sales as well, and bringing people into your email list and your collector list. So that's the topic. I don't know about you, depends of course where you are in the world, but 2022 was kind of an interesting year. It was for me like the other side of the pandemic, right? Getting out finally of the pandemic. 2020 and 2021, at least for the art business and my gallery too. Were very difficult years in terms that, everything that we did in person, we had to, transition to do online. As a gallery, we actually are selling a lot more right now through online than we ever did before, which is great. Those sales continue to go up year after year. However, as we turn into 2022 and now we're having in-person exhibitions again, bringing people in. As an artist too, participating more in exhibits, participating more in events. Slowly, I think it's a good thing. How 2022 is now kind of a year in which, we're venturing out. More people are venturing out more and going to more art events, and that is a good thing. But as we get to this point and we arrive in October, I don't know about you, but it's always to me like this idea of, wow, all of a sudden, where time go? We only have 3 months left before the year is over, and what am I going to do as an artist to make them the most exciting, to make them the best for my art business, and to do something that people will be excited to participate on. And that is where we are at. And I hope that you're asking yourself those questions too, because I wanted to talk about here as we start the idea of planning. You have to plan to make things happen. A lot of times as artists, we're not used to planning in our marketing, planning for sales to happen. We plan our studio, we plan what we're going to be working on, we plan, the next project you may be in and so on. But we also have to plan how we're going to approach each month, what kind of opportunities we're going to provide for those who are following us. Also opportunities to attract new people, to bring new also people into our email list that we can continue growing those relationships. I really feel that for artists there are kind of like 2 big essentials, right? 2 things that are highly valuable, at least in my art career, and I think you will find that in yours too. One of the most valuable assets that we have as artists is time. And I think, as individuals is time. Time is one of those things that you use it once and you cannot recall it. You cannot go back. We are living in this present moment. How I'm using this very moment right now, can change the outlook of what's going to happen in the next week or months or years. Time is one of those things that if you waste it, there's no way to pull it back. There's no way to refill it, because once it's gone, it's gone. And I think as artists, we need to be very aware of that. And as we look into the future, as we look at the last 3 months of the year, thinking about, okay, how am I going to use my time effectively in my art career, in my business, in my art studio, to make the best out of what's left of this year, to finish the year strong. So time is one of those things that I think, if you agree with me, it's very important, and we need to keep, planning for how we're going to use our time so that we can be effective in all aspects of our career. So one of them is time. And then the second one, I believe also super important, one big asset is people. People. As artists, we work in isolation, we go into our studio, we make our art, but at the same time, we have to think about that once the art is finished and it enters the world at large, that's when we have to connect. We rely on people. As artists, we rely on people to get the work out, to connect with our audience. Every time that you show up to your social media, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, whatever you use, LinkedIn, you name it, Pinterest, you go in there, you're hoping to get some visibility. Otherwise, you would not use social media if you don't want to be seen, if you don't want to connect with anybody, right? The reason you have social media, the reason you use social media is because you're expecting to connect with someone. You expect someone to see what you are doing. Otherwise, why post? Why bother? We need people. We, as artists, we need people. I think that's one of our other greatest assets that we have is people. And we need to learn to connect with people, because I think in 2022 and in 2023 and beyond, as we go into Web3, this idea of connections, of building a community around your art with the people that love what you do, love you as an artist, that gets the whole picture of who you are as an artist, I think is super important. And I think, it's part of the planning too. How are we going to make the best of the last 3 months in the year to bring the right people to what we are doing, to our inner circle, to fall in love with what we do, how we're going to help them feel closer? Because I think once somebody feels close to you, they will make the step, which is the logical step of wanting to participate in what you're doing in the world, which in other words is, selling, when you sell your art, purchasing your art. When somebody wants to purchase your art, they're saying yes to you. They're saying yes to what your mission, to what you want to do in the world through your art. And that is something super, super important that we should not take lightly. So as I plan and as I look at the last 3 months of the year, which is October, November, December, I have to think about how am I going to use my time and how am I going to connect with people, so that at the end of the year, if I use my time correctly and if I am successfully connecting with people, I will have a strong end of the year in terms of sales, in terms of how my business is closing 2022. And today I want to help you with that as well, thinking about it, planning about it, and making maybe perhaps some changes in your career, in your life, that will help you, make the best of the year and still make strong sales, even with the downturn of the economy. Which, by the way, it's not the first time that the economy is down. It has happened before. Maybe you remember it. Maybe you have lived long enough like me, and you remember other downturns in the economy. Economies go up and down. There are cycles. Things go down, then things go up. Things go down, and things go up. Something that I found over time, over the years, is that, collectors will always collect art, maybe a different price, but collectors will always collect art. And, you may think that just because we may be struggling or suffering financially doesn't mean everybody is. Actually, some people are thriving. Some collectors are actually making more money in the downturn than before the downturn. So, you have to think about that and realize that even though things may look a little bit grim, with the economic outlook, from what the experts are saying, there's still people out there who can and will spend money on art to make their home look better, to put beautiful work in their office, or, to do things with art that they enjoy. So as we look into it, one of the things that for the last, I think now it's been 8 years, I don't quite exactly remember, but I think it's about 8 years, I always forget to count, but I think it's about 8 years, that when I started thinking about how am I going to use the best of my time, what am I going to do at the end of the year, that is when I started this whole thing that has now become the Small Works Art Sales Challenge, which is something that I do every year. I've been doing it I did it first myself, and then I started inviting artists to do it with me. And now for the last, I think, 5 years or so, I've been doing it with other artists. And because first I was doing it all by myself. And this is the whole idea of okay, as we get to the end of the year and as people are spending money on themselves and spending money on others, for gifts and things like that, Christmas time, Black Friday, where typically people will, reach out in their pockets and spend more money. What am I doing in those times to also, help people to notice what I'm doing, to join what I'm all about in the world, and to be able to give them an opportunity for them to participate in what I'm doing. A lot of times, we think of selling art as just a transaction, right? Okay, I'll give you, here's my art, give me some money. And that's a transactional thing that, okay, I'm glad I sold it. We're looking for my next sale. I don't like to think about it in those terms. I like to think about when somebody buys my art, they're also buying into me. They're also buying into who I am as an artist. They're also buying into my story. They're buying into my mission as an artist. Even if they don't quite acknowledge it, even though if they might not even realize it themselves, they're buying into me. They're buying into who I am. And I think that is very important, when we look into our art sales for the end of the year, what kind of story we're going to tell, what kind of opportunity we're going to give to people who are out there who wants to spend money, who is ready to spend money, to say, hey, I'm one of those options that you have. Why don't you join me in my mission, in what I'm doing in the world, and and you can have this amazing artwork, and that is a different type of transaction where you get as much as I get as well, and we all end up happy and feeling closer to each other because of that. So one of the things that I came up with some time ago is this idea of the Small Words Art Sales Challenge, which is the idea of creating something small in size that I can offer to my audience and at a price point that is uniquely positioned to make it easy for someone to buy. Now, the idea here is like, once again, why bother with small pieces when I want to sell the big stuff, right? The bigger, the more expensive work. And that is totally fine. I totally get it. And even this is what I found is that even this Small Works Challenge helps you even give more visibility and many times sell some of the big art because of what you're doing with the small pieces. So the whole idea of the small pieces is to provide a whole bracket of people in your audience who loves what you do, who says, hey, Mary, hey, Carlos, hey, Charlie, whoever you are, saying, I love what you're doing, but I just cannot afford one of those, but I love what you're doing, and I'm here, and I follow you, and I like your stuff, and or I follow every post that you make. Is to provide to that bracket of people an opportunity to jump in, to participate, to say, hey, count me in. I want to be part of what you're doing. I want to support you as an artist. I know the economy is not the best right now, and I want to support you in a small way. And this makes it a no-brainer for somebody to participate in what you are doing. And in return, as artists, we're going to make it exciting for them. We're going to make it to participate in what we're doing, something exciting to be part of, not just a transaction of, here, this is for sale, you buy it, give me money and goodbye. No, it's going to be more than that. It's going to be exciting. The first time I did this, I called it the 41 Winters, which was this idea of, I created 41. Initially it was going to be 41. I ended up doing 64 because I really love the process. But the idea was I was going to do a small work for each one of the years I was alive. So that was when I was 41 years old. And it went really well. It was really successful. I created a whole marketing program around it. I gave it a theme. I treated it like really cool. And I made it super special for people to buy and feel good when they join into my challenge, into my story. And it was successful. So I started doing it every year. And now I do it also with other artists who want to join me in this challenge, and I teach them how to do it. So the whole goal is to do that, right? To bring people in, grab their attention into what we are doing at a price point that is affordable. Now, when I say affordable, it doesn't mean that it's affordable for everybody, right? There's affordable and there's affordable, right? You have to see what are your current price points and what is that you want to do. Depends on who you are, depends where you are in the world, and depends what you make. It's not a price point that's equal for everybody. Because even affordability for some, it will be totally unaffordable for others. So it is fine. It's something that you have to define, particularly you work with me in the challenge, but we work on it. we talk about it. But this idea of creating something that then it creates people, gives people this opportunity. Now, there are a segment of your followers who will be happy to jump in and join your mission as an artist and jump into what you are doing in the world, because they want to support you. They want to see you succeed in the art world as an artist too, and they'll jump in a chance that you give them to do something like this. So they participate. And what I found over time too is that because you create, or we all together through the challenge, we create this really beautiful community. We create this beautiful also way of creating momentum in a totally non-salesy way, in an exciting way. We build this momentum that helps people take attention of what we are doing, which is the most difficult thing to do in 2022. It's not as much as having access to social media and all that. The difficult part is grabbing people's attention. You may have 1,000 followers and only 10%, 5% will actually pay attention to what you are doing. So, those are really difficult numbers, right? Because that means 90% of your followers have no clue, have no idea what in the world you are up to today, right now. So we think that because we posted once, everybody saw it and now everybody knows what I'm doing. It doesn't happen that way. So that happens in every social media platform. So one of the most difficult things today is, how do I grab my audience attention? If I have 1,000 followers, how do I grab at least 75%, 80% of that audience so that they have clue of what in the world I am doing? So let alone, if we want to create sales and we realize that we are only reaching a small segment of our audience. So we have to learn how to do it. So the challenge allows you to build this momentum, to create this beautiful kind of roll effect in which something starts small and starts to grow, and then people begin to notice, and then people begin to get excited, and then you make it super special so that they want to participate in what you are doing. And if you do it successfully, if you follow the challenge to the teeth, it can work really well. It can really do amazing things for you and for your career at the end of the year, and start new relationships with the new people that you are connecting with. So as you build this momentum, then the whole idea is, what do you do once you have people's attention, which is the third thing that you will that you need to plan as you look at the last three months of the year. Okay, what am I going to do? So let's say you do the challenge with me. So what am I going to do? How am I going to use my time? Well, you use your time creating this small body of work, deciding what you're going to do, what kind of opportunity you're going to create, connecting with people, working together with the community. And then at the end is this idea of, okay, the whole challenge is also with the purpose of selling art, right? That's why it's a Small Words Art Sales Challenge. We want to sell art. And the idea is to, as we build momentum and as we bring attention to ourselves and to our work, then giving people an exciting opportunity to buy our work, right? Through inviting them to participate in what we're doing in the world. And that's kind of like the whole idea, the whole premise of it, which has been really successful in the last few years with artists I've been working with. And for myself as an artist, you may have seen, if you follow me on Instagram, my sold out collections just about every year. I had some bad ones, I have to say. And even from the bad ones, you learn. You are able to look back and say, okay, what did I do wrong, so that I can do it better next time around. And so you tweak it. You perfect it each time you do it. And now, when I do my challenge, I have people that wait anxiously and patiently for the end of the year when I have my Small Words Challenge, so that they can participate, so they can be part of it. And it is really exciting to see that. So what happens is, you get people to participate with you, to join in, and even though you may be promoting the small works, don't get fooled by just the idea of just small things, because when somebody goes in your website, let's say because you are promoting the release of a body of work, small pieces, somebody goes to your website, well, now they are there. Now you have also an opportunity to show them, your other work that you have in your website that is available for sale. Somebody might go there out of curiosity to see, or out of support to see what you're doing in the world, and then they realize, wow, here's a beautiful painting or drawing or something much larger, more expensive, that they can have access to. They were not really interested in the small ones, but they see something much larger that they fall in love with, and that's what they may buy from you. And that is exciting, and that's something I see happening over and over again, from artists who participate in the challenge, and say, hey, I sold a bigger one. And they're like, well, that's amazing, because we're bringing all this attention, we're bringing this traffic to your website, where you can make the sales happen. And by the way, you can do it also without a website. And in the challenge, I teach you different ways in which you can do this even without a website. Even if you're a beginner, if you right now don't have an actual full website with buy now buttons, there are other ways in which can be done as well, so that you can still participate and be part of this challenge. So as I talk about this, my friend, I really want you to start thinking about what are you going to do? What is your plan for the next 3 months to finish the year strong? What is it? If you don't have no plan, if you're listening to this right now through my podcast or here through YouTube, you're watching this on YouTube, ask yourself the question, what am I going to do? What is my plan to finish strong in a time where people are pulling their pockets and putting it on the table, because they want to make purchases? And remember, you're not the only artist in town, and you're not the only person trying to sell something in town. You're one of millions. So, what are you going to do to stand out? What are you going to do to bring attention to what you have, to the beautiful work that you do in this world, and to bring more people, into awareness of the type of art you make, and so that they can continue to follow you and become also eventually collectors of your art over time. So I just have the question. If the question is like, well, I don't know, I don't have a plan. Well, my friend, I invite you to join me and join hundreds of other artists who every year do the Small Words Art Sales Challenge with me. We start in October 10th, and we go all the way to the first week of December, and we do this challenge. And it is amazing. It is awesome every week, the way the challenge works. Every week, I give you just one video to watch. Usually it's about 30 minutes or so. One video to watch. You watch the video, you think about it, then you take action. So there's action. It's a challenge, right? I challenge you to take action on that week, on whatever it may be, all related to producing this body of work, or figuring out what you may want to release, when, price points. We talk about ideas, and I'll give you also marketing insights and what type of marketing to create to be able to pull that together, to grab the attention of the people that we want them to see what we are doing. So when you join us, the way it happens, I give you this video, you watch that video, you take action. Then we have also a community inside of a Facebook group where you can then connect it and share what you are doing, and you see other artists from around the world also trying to decide what they were going to do. You get ideas, you get excited, and it is pretty awesome. And then once a week, every Thursday, I go live inside of that Facebook group, and I answer your questions too. So if you have any questions, you post your questions, I answer your questions. I'll help you brainstorm ideas, on what you may want to do for your release. Which, by the way, this release of this body of work can be done online or in person, or a combination. During the pandemic, we all did it online, and it worked really well too. And then I think the second year of the pandemic, we did also online exhibits, and now we're back in person. So you can do, for example, an open studio or a pop-up event, or you can still do it just online on your social media. You choose really how you want to do it. I give you all different scenarios, all different ideas at all different levels of expertise to see which one is the best for you. If you are totally new on this and you've never done anything like this, well, I'll give you the tools necessary to get started. If you have done this before, well, now you're becoming a pro, and you're like, okay, this is what I did last year, this is how I'm going to do it better, this is how I'm going to improve. And it's really cool because we see artists who keep coming back and making it better each time. Maybe their first time wasn't as successful, but they learn a whole lot. So now in their second year, it becomes a lot better. Now they have a bigger audience, and now they understand how things work much better. So it's a learning curve that, because we are all working together at it, it makes it super exciting. And the best part is that because I'm helping you with your marketing, then you can focus more on your art and really the thing that you love, which is figuring out what is it that I want to make, what is it that I want to present. And by the way, the array of ideas of what you can do at the end, this opportunity that you're going to give people in your audience to be part of, it's huge. You can do from small drawings, small sketches, small paintings, small sculptures, prints, limited editions, open editions, photographs, you name it. I've seen also artists doing commission work, like giving opportunities to sign up for a commission, etc. I mean, the ideas are wide, and by connecting with the community, you even get more ideas, and which is okay because you don't have to start the challenge knowing what you want to make. I actually do the challenge along with everybody else because, like I said, I've been doing this for quite a few years, and it's always very successful for me. It helps me to end strong, with my year in my sales, and particularly with new people added to my mailing list who are excited to be there. So, I do it too. So because I do it too, I have to do the homework too in the challenge. And I right now have no idea what I'm going to make for the challenge, what kind of offer I'm going to have, what kind of opportunity I'm going to create for my audience. But I will, I will also in the process of the challenge think about it. So the challenge begins on October 10th. The first few sessions, first few weeks are all about the brainstorming, what we're going to do, how we're going to make it, looking at our calendars, deciding when are we going to release it. You can totally release it when you want. For some artists who are here in the United States, they might want to release it during Black Friday or that weekend or Cyber Monday. Others, may want to do it in December. You choose. There's no specific date. I will help you to get everything in order by then and how to do it. But you actually are the one who choose when you're going to release it, which is the great thing, because we are all different artists in different parts of the world with different circumstances. So, we have to adjust accordingly to that as well. So I want to invite you, my friend, to be part of the challenge this year of 2022. It's going to be fabulous. It's going to be awesome. And it's a way, again, of planning to make sales, planning to make connections with people, planning to spend your time in a wise way, knowing that, you're doing something for your art career, knowing you're doing something to help you finish the year strong in your art career, which is much better as having no plan, wishing for sales to happen, doing some posts here and there, hoping somebody sees it, hoping that your audience will take attention and, make a decision, which, usually, you're just leaving out to the luck of the universe, when you can actually plan and really focus on something that you want to see it happen in your art career. So if you want to be part of the challenge, which I invite you to do so, you got to be part of my Art Next Level Academy. The challenge happens inside the Art Next Level Academy, which is a membership program. And what you want to do is you want to sign up for the academy so that you can participate in the challenge. The cool thing is that when you sign up for the academy, which is a monthly membership, you can sign up and you have access to the challenge, and you will also have access to all my other resources and courses that I have, anything on marketing, wellness, mindset. Dr. Ana Gomez has a really amazing also videos on wellness, mindset, overcoming overwhelm, also overcoming mindset blocks, self-sabotage, all is in there, which you have access to as well, as being part of the Next Level Academy, and of course the weekly videos for the challenge. And when you are done, you can simply just cancel your membership, or you can stay if you really love it. You love the community and you keep learning, and it's helping you to move your art career forward and moving your art business forward. Of course, you're more than welcome to stay as well, but you can cancel at any time. And that is the great thing about the Next Level Academy. You're not tied to anything. You can say, well, you know what, plans change. I want to be on a trip for the last 2 months unexpectedly, and I have to cancel. And totally fine. Totally fine. And from our website, from our member website, there's a tab with the frequently asked questions. There's the steps on how to cancel very easily. You don't have to call me or message me. You can do it yourself, and no questions asked, no problem as well, no hard feelings. I'm not gonna unfollow you from social media or anything like that. The Next Level Academy is an open door program where artists can come and go as they need to and as they please. So that's why we love it. And if you want to be part of it, my friend, all you got to do is go to theartistnextlevel.com/smallworks. Super easy. theartistnextlevel.com/smallworks. I'm going to put the link under this video here in YouTube. If you're listening to the podcast, I'm going to put it in the description of the podcast. All you got to do is go there before October 10th so that you can be part of the challenge, so that you can join us and participate. Now, I have some artists who have sent me emails, says, well, Sergio, on the 10th I'm traveling, or they said, do I have to be there on the 10th? Do I have to be live? No. The videos are released per week, and you can access them at any time. So once you're in the program, if I release a video on Monday, which is when I release them, but you're not available on Mondays, that's okay. You can watch it on Tuesday or Wednesday. It doesn't really matter. That's why it's an international group, because everybody's in different parts of the world, and you can be anywhere in the world and participate, because you have access to it as well as you are available, as you plan your time. So that's kind of how it works. Just go again to the artistnextlevel.com/smallworks. Check out all the details, everything spelled out there, exactly how it works, which is exactly as how I explain it. You have also access to all my academy, all my resources, and everything that I do there, my coaching as well. When we do our Q&A sessions. And I forgot to mention, one thing that we also have is twice a month we do live studio, what we call live studio visits, which are Zoom sessions that you are more than welcome to attend. They're not mandatory by any means. You can come if you want. And we start every session with 2 artists presenting their art for 10 minutes, or their studio or something that they're working on. And then we have breakout rooms. So the rest of the time, another 45 minutes or so, or 40 minutes, you get to meet 2 or 3 other artists from around the world, where you can chat, where you can make friends, where friendships can happen, collaborations can happen, exchange ideas. And very quickly you realize that whatever you're going through in your art career, you're not the only one going through it. You will find other artists who have gone through that or are going through it right now, and it's a great way to help each other out. It's a beautiful, amazing community that we have built inside the Art Next Level Academy, and we are so proud of it. So I hope you decide to join us. Again, theartistnextlevel.com/smallworks. That's where you'll find the link to the Small Works Artists Challenge. I will see you next time. I hope you have a great rest of your day. And even if you don't do the challenge, sit down and think about what are you going to do in the last 3 months of the year. Besides going to parties and Christmas parties and stuff, family gatherings, besides that, what are you going to do for your art career to make it count, to make the last 3 months really count, to make the last 3 months of how you spend your time and how you spend making your relationships, happen for you at the end of the year in a fabulous way. So have a great rest of my friend, great rest of your day, my friend. If you are following this for the first time, make sure that on the podcast you subscribe. If you are also on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to this channel where I put videos and also podcast episodes that will help you grow your art career in many ways. Have a great rest of your day, and I will see you at the next level. Goodbye.
Check out our website at www.theartistnextlevel.com, where you will find our podcast library, learn about our upcoming webinars, find resources relevant to your career, and much more. Thanks for listening to today's podcast, and we'll see you at the next level.